This mutation is called Retribution, and it is played on Missed Opportunities. We have two mutators active. We have Double-Edged, and we have Void Rifts. So, let us see if the masteries are available. They do not show at the moment, which is somewhat unfortunate. We can probably figure out what some of these masteries selections are. So we have 30 points into the Hyperion cooldown mastery, and we'll see what the other ones are as time goes on. But yeah, this mutation is going to be really nasty. And first off, if I did get a lot of submissions for this mutation, I had a lot of people who were attempting it. So if the game was not casted, my apologies for that. But what we can see here is we have already a set of Marines that are going to be used to clear these rocks out, and there is an SCV that is wandering into the middle of the map. So Retribution, Double-Edged, Void Rifts, Raynor playing the Backwater Martial Prestige, P1 Raynor, arguably one of the most misunderstood prestiges in this game. I would say a lot of people do not understand when it is to be used and how to play it properly. Generally, it is not a good prestige to use, but Tutu, our resident mutation soloist, does like, setting up some challenges for himself. So, first set of Void Rifts have been spawned, and these Marines now are ready to go and take out this Void Rift. And as you can see, yes, units from the Void Rifts will also have the Double-Edged damage active, which makes actually clearing through these Void Rifts a little bit more difficult to deal with. And you can see here, some Marines just moving out of the way and slowly but surely clearing out this little spot here. There is a Void Rift again now that has spawned, and it will start to trickle some units over, but this bunker should be able to hold without too many issues. First attack wave is on the way right now. You can see already Hellions out, and there's also a Stalker. So Raynor just working his way through, trying to hold on in the early stage of the game. This is usually one of the things that makes Void Rifts very difficult to deal with. It is the early game pressure that Void Rifts applies. It kind of cripples your economy, and then therefore you are unable to snowball as effectively as you normally would in a regular game, and that usually makes you weaker for the mid game, which is usually where people lose. So so weirdly enough, people are able to hold in the early game, and then they just end up dying in the mid game because they just do not have the economy to sustain. But next Void Rift is out as well. This will be picked off. Banshee Airstrike is almost on the way. There we go. Banshee Airstrike being utilized right now. These Banshees will be going to clear off this one Void Rift that has spawned. And I think there may be a trickle spawn towards this little command center. I do not know if anything has spawned out of that. We'll find out in just a little bit. Again, this Void Rift now will be picked off as well by the Banshee Airstrike. And I'm pretty sure these Banshees are going to be going to do something else here. So yeah, they're just going to go ahead and they will start to take out whatever units they're able to clean up. This bunker is just holding on for dear life. There's a Roach here as well attacking. So overall, really good. And where are these Banshees gonna go? I think they're gonna try and pick off some more of these units over here. And they might as well just, you might as well utilize the Banshee Airstrike as effectively as possible. Hyperion now is ready and good to go. And we have the Hyperion being utilized now, and the point defense drone being dropped here. So we get another Void Rift getting spawned here, another Void Rift getting spawned. Hyperion is a very useful thing for this. The Hyperion in general is like really good, but for Void Rifts in particular, it is absolutely amazing. So one thing to remember is that the Void Rifts, like the Hyperion's tactical jump ability, when the Void Rift spawns somewhere deep into enemy territory, you do not require vision. So you can send your Hyperion into the deep levels of the map and clear out the Void Rifts. And especially because the Hyperion sits at about 2000 HP, it'll usually be able to tank all the enemy units here. Now, one thing I was asked to draw your attention to is the positioning of these point defense drones. Take a look at where these point defense drones are, because these point defense drones are now placed in a position that will help Raynor defend the next set of harass waves. So just by having that available, it does make life a little bit easier for Raynor, and he will be able to hold. Now remember, the point defense drones will time out like eventually, but it is something that he can utilize to just help him a little bit when it comes to dealing with the future harass waves on this map. Because remember, Raynor, especially P1, does not have his economy is usually even worse in the start of the game because he doesn't have access to his mules. So his army isn't particularly big, so any little bit of help that you can get just is very, very helpful for Raynor and just makes it a little bit better. So, you know, this kind of pre-positioning of your point defense drones just to make things just a little bit easier. Even if you're, you know, able to save off one adept shot, it's just less damage that your army is taking and less pressure that you put on your medics to keep your army healed up. So if you are, like I did mention this on the weekly mutation shorts, like if, you know, if you are a free-to-play player and you are trying to do this mutation, Raynor is your best bet. Probably not P1. P1 is a little bit more difficult to deal with, but if you want to try, you can go ahead and try it like this. But you can play the base Raynor Prestige and just take the same tips that, you know, P1 Raynor is doing right now. Is just keeping his army alive and just utilizing all the resources that he has to maximum efficiency here. So first attack wave is coming up here, and you can see here, this point defense drone that he dropped earlier has just gotten so much value. This point defense drone will eventually be killed off, but all those adepts that were attacking, all these phoenixes, they haven't really been able to deal a lot of damage here. And that is a thing that he's trying. See here, see this point defense drone. Like these marines are getting lifted, and these phoenixes are unable to kill the marines off. Just that little bit of value that you can get for your point defense drone does help a lot there. So very efficient play here by Raynor. The next attack wave has come up as well. There are lots of phoenixes here. Hyperion being utilized now, and the Hyperion will be able to kill this off very, very quickly. But just take a look at how quickly the Hyperion melts. Remember, the Hyperion does deal more damage when it is moving, so perhaps if you are trying to take out Void Rifts, perhaps it may be better to not move the Hyperion as much, especially if it's sitting on low HP, because you do not want the Hyperion to end up killing itself off. You see the Hyperion now is going to be moving around, just slowly picking off some more of these units here. 4 more Void Rifts have spawned, and there is 4 more Void Rifts that need to be cleared out. So Marine's going to be splitting up over here, and as well moved up over here to just take off whatever is left. Now, one other thing as well is I was pretty sure I was going to forget, but he did mention to me as well that he hasn't really used many hotkey groups for his Marine. So he doesn't have like 5 hotkey groups for his Marine army. So just simple splits here required. It's not a lot of extra complicated micro. It's just, I think one of the things that is important and one of the things that sets apart you know, a new player to co-op and someone like Dudu is just experience. It's just getting the feel of the game, just knowing where to place your stuff is what is important. And if you once you are aware of that, then it's not really too difficult. But that is the second set of harvesting bots saved, and now Raynor has to start pushing in stims in, and he should be able to clear this out. But remember, again, these Marines are going to be taking a lot of damage because of double-edged, so he does have to be a little bit careful. You can see here, this is the issue. This is the problem that Raynor has with P1. Is his medics, they tend to run out of energy very, very quickly because his units have a large HP pool, and yes, they are able to tank, but it's very difficult to keep them completely healed up, and that is the thing that P1 Raynor tends to struggle with. I would have actually very much liked the medic healing to also be doubled, the healing rate, and that would have kind of offset the Marine, the extra HP on his bio units. I think that would have been an interesting change for the Prestige to make it a little bit more viable for regular play. But Raynor just going to start to steamroll all of this up. And in terms of barracks counts, we have how many? We have six barracks over here, and both upgrades coming up as well. So Raynor's HP pool will be going up even more, and some more medics being added right now to keep this army topped up and good to go. So there are some phoenixes over here, but Raynor's army is moving into position right now to be able to deal with this, and let us see what happens there. So these phoenixes are going to start engaging the army, and unfortunately some more Void Rifts have spawned, so there are 4 Void Rifts over here, and this is going to be a little bit of a problem. Oh, Setman's Harvesting Bot is also dealing a little bit of damage, helping out dealing some damage to the Void Rift. I think it has like 1 DPS. Don't put too much faith in Set. Oh no, it has actually, okay, it has 6 DPS, so it is able to deal a little bit of damage. But these borders are going to be very, very quickly cleaned out, and over here, this harass wave will be cleared out as well. Scan over here to get rid of some of the observers, and the rest of these phoenixes now. Phoenixes can really deal damage to the harvesting bots, so they're not really much of a threat, but they can be pretty deadly if they start to clump up, and you know, if you send your marine army in, they all tend to get lifted, and just bad things happen to them. But here, very interesting way of splitting the army up, just engaging it from the side, causing the phoenixes to split up, so there are a little bit more lifts on your army, but a little bit less damage that can be dealt to them. And these are the rest of these phoenixes cleared out as well. And I think this is the next wave of harvesting bots cleared. So, okay, there's still one more, there was still one more harass wave coming up. Next set of Void Rifts have spawned. Hyperion getting dropped right now. So Hyperion will clear out this Void Rift here, and this one is also a freebie. And over here there are some Marines here that need to be clearing out this Void Rift as well. And this Hyperion now is ready to go. It is basically free, has nothing better to do. So it's just going to be moving along with the Raynor army, and we'll be able to see if they'll be able to clear out some more of the enemy encampments over here. Again, like I said, the point defense drone. Use your point defense drones, especially when you're dealing with any kind of projectile unit. Just those point defense drones can be very, very valuable. Again, like I said, especially if you are playing Raynor on this mutation. It is not the commander I would recommend for this. But this is this enemy encampment cleared. There's still one big push that needs to be done, but you can see here what's happened now. Raynor has dropped some more point defense drones in anticipation for this big attack wave that's coming. And again, the goal is to just try and reduce the amount of damage that your army can take. So even like these point defense drones are not going to last very long, but even if they're able to help just a little bit, like, you know, a few phoenixes here and there, you know, some adepts left, right, and center, and then, you know, you'll find that you've saved a lot of the energy. And take a look here. This point defense drone has almost run out of energy. Both of these point defense drones actually have almost completely run out of energy, and phoenixes have, you know, the Phoenix damage has been mitigated. Again, like I said, this is a really nasty attack wave, especially with hybrids. You take a lot of damage from the double edge here. So this hybrid will end up killing off maybe a few of these Marines in the long run, but overall, not really too bad. And this Void Rift now is also going to get cleared. Might as well clean up that hybrid. Just be careful, there is a Reaver near the back line here, so he really does not want to deal with that. And you just want to now pick off whatever he's just lured here, because, you know, why not? You pull them away from the enemy forces, should not be too bad. There's something else over here. I'm not really sure what is parked over there. It might be a Phoenix, might be some random Zealot that just got like stuck between some of the units. Not really much of an issue right now. The priority for Raynor is to go and deal with the next thing here, which is clearing out these enemy encampments. Another 4 Void Rifts have spawned. This one very conveniently spawned right next to Raynor's bunker. This one as well, not really too bad. Raynor can actually unload his bunker. Unfortunately, he does end up losing out some more Marines to the double-edged Mutator, but nothing really he can't handle. Just instantly drops some more Marines and he is good to go. Over here, he needs to continue pushing. He has cleared out the first half of this enemy encampment. There's still another one here, and there is a hybrid over here, so this hybrid is going to be a bit of a problem. Some Marines are actually not going to end up dying, but I think some of them will end up dying now. The double edge as they continue to push forward, and over here, this other Void Rift has been cleared out as well. So this area is now good to go. Now, one thing you can also do is if you are playing Raynor on this mission, you can try and drop down your Spire Mines. So if you're dealing with a ground composition, unfortunately this is not a ground composition, but if you find that you're up against a ground comp, you can build some vultures, get your replenishable magazines upgrade for your vultures, and you can actually use those to spawn camp the spawn points in the enemy attack waves, and that will, you know, make your life a little bit easier as well. Just utilize the resources that are available. Do not forego any unit. Like, a lot of people tend to focus on a very particular unit when they're playing a commander, because those units are generally like the best units to use. But when you're playing against difficult mutators, sometimes, you know, it may be worth opting for a unit that, you know, doesn't deal as high damage if it, you know, makes your life a little bit easier. So do consider all the options you have. Starcraft is a strategy game after all. So these harvesting bots now are going to be, they're going to begin their terrazine harvesting. This attack wave marker is really bugging me. Okay, so we have double harass wave over here. This one's going to be massive. There's going to be a ton of adepts here. So yeah, so there's going to be like a lot of adepts over here, and I think Raynor might be having a little bit of problem over here, but take a look at these medics, just keeping these things alive. Raynor just replenishing his army as quickly as they are dropping, and so far so good. Actually, try and take a guess as to what the final death toll of the Marines is going to be. Now, do note that I do not think the Marines, if they kill themselves from the double-edged Mutator, I don't think they count on your kill counts. I don't think they appear on the interface, because there's a weird way of how the damage is dealt by this Mutator over here. But scan and a Banshee airstrike to just snipe that one Void Rift, and now since these things are around, yeah, focus down that Reaver. Those Reavers are the biggest problem that Raynor can have. So those things are going down, and over here this harvesting bot is taking a little bit of a pounding, but I think it should be able to survive. There is still a bunker over here as well, and these Marines maybe... Okay, they are not going to be moving to this, but yeah, this harvesting bot is pretty much okay. And over here, there are a couple of hybrids that are being a little bit annoying, but Raynor is going to pincer this hybrid wave here. And over here now, this is the massive attack wave. And unfortunately, those two Marines are not going to be able to deal with this entire attack wave. The rest of Raynor's army now move in to avenge their fallen comrades. And finally, these Void Rays will end up going down. Raynor sitting at about 176 supply. See how long it takes like Raynor to max out when he's playing P1, especially on this mutator, when on this mutation set. Raynor with orbital command centers are just so he's so much faster, so much more adept at maxing out his army. Some storms coming in. This is actually the one thing that Raynor P1 is able to do. He's able to eat these storms without really any issues. But you can see it's still weak to splash damage, but you know, because his army doesn't die as quickly, it's not too bad. But that Reaver getting a lot of hot shots on his army, and I think he'll be able to get another one out as well. But yeah, another one goes out, unfortunately, taking out some more of his army. His army has dropped to 168 supply right now, but he's trying to pick off these Void Rifts, and these Void Rifts will end up going down. So far so good. Raynor will be able to max out as well, but you can see here not a lot of resources available, and you know, again, like I said, not many barracks. He's sitting at about 7 barracks right now, and that is pretty much it for him. He does have some bunkers and small sets of army units over here just to try and snipe off these Void Rifts. So you know, you can put down bunkers if you like. I would personally prefer bunkers if you are not particularly confident, especially if you're playing with your ally and you can afford to spare the resources. You know, put down these bunkers, and you know, they'll prevent you from actually losing out your army units very much. But you know, as you can see here, Raynor is able to do this just by spreading his army units around in random spots so that he can intercept these Void Rifts as quickly as possible. So this army maybe just small bits of army, and this one mostly, I'm assuming this big clump of army that's going to be used is, you know, in the main control group, and potentially this one on a second control group. So not a lot of heavy bit of control group usage required, but you will need a little bit again if you're playing Raynor. I'm just going to throw these little tips out there because I do know that there are people who play co-op, who are free-to-play players, and between a mastery level Raynor and a level 5 like, you know, Stetman or a Zeratul or something, I actually do not know. I think the mastery level might be a little bit better. You can let me know in the comments what you guys think. I do think a mastery level Raynor would be better than, like, you know, a level 5 max level, like a level 5 capped pay for commander. Like, even if you're talking about the commanders that are a little bit better for this mutation, like, I do think the mastery level, especially if you have prestiges unlocked, might be a little bit better. But first harass wave starts to spawn, and Raynor's army is ready to intercept it. Second harass wave spawns, lots of oracles over here, dealing a lot of damage to Raynor's army. Unfortunately, Raynor's army is being lifted by these phoenixes. He is able to clear this out very, very quickly. And now another harass wave spawns, and Raynor's army is good to go. The harvesting bots have still not reached the Terrazine Geyser, so it's still a while, and Raynor will just have to hold on just a little bit while these things get ready. Again, the next harass wave has actually spawned as well, and it's already in position, and Raynor's army has already been healed up as well by the medics at the back line, so he is able to clear that out without any effort. And overall, so far, so good. Next set of Void Rifts have spawned as well, so this little small bit of army is going to be dealing with the 3 observers over here. I don't know why there are 3 observers over there. That one's going to end up getting cleared. That Void Rift is going to end up getting cleared. There is a attack wave right here, and now very nice clutch Hyperion usage just to try and draw a little bit of aggro, and the point defense drone also being dropped here to stop these adepts from dealing damage to the harvesting bot, which is really, really good play here. Very clutch play, keeps this thing alive, and now Raynor's army is in a little bit of trouble because he might end up getting pincered by these 2 attack waves, but the rest of his army is ready to join in now. The Void Rays are dealing a lot of damage, but they stand no chance against Raynor's army. There's another one coming up over here, and this is going to probably try and snipe this, but Raynor's army has already joined in. 2 more Void Rays. These Void Rays are causing so many problems for Raynor. Okay, there we go. Those Void Rays now go down. These ones will also get cleared out as well, and that is the end of Amon's army. Over here, 2 more Marines being utilized. 4 Void Rifts have spawned, and again, Raynor is just going to pounce on this one Void Rift. And on this one as well, 2 more Void Rifts left, and there looks to be like a little bit of a split here, and the mega attack wave of Doom has spawned, and this attack wave will be cleared out very, very quickly as well by Raynor's army. That Void Rift is cleared, that Void Rift is cleared, that Void Rift is cleared. All the Void Rifts have been cleared right now, and Raynor, all he has to do, he doesn't even have to do this because he is pretty much guaranteed the win right now, but he's going to go and clear off the rest of these Tempests. And using a few more army units over here, a little bit of micro over here. There seems to be a little bit of a split here, but again, these army units of Amon stand no chance against Raynor stemmed Marines, and he is pretty much good to go. All the harvesting bots have been saved, no bonus objectives, because I would not expect the bonus objectives to be done. Do not do the bonus objectives if you are not confident you're going to be able to do this, especially against a Void Rift mutation. I would probably not advise it anyway. It's a really, really nasty mutator set this week. So yeah, those are all the Tempests cleared. So good luck everyone with this mutation. This is going to be a challenge, but those are all the harvesting bots saved. None of them have died, and Raynor is just gonna like go through and just wail on Amon right now. He's having absolutely none of it. He's gonna be clearing it out. Let's take a look at the losses. 218 Marines dead. Actually not as inhumane as I thought it would be. But remember, double edge damage does not count here. Those are all the harvesting bots saved, and that is GG.